by the more equivocal people of color. The dissonance within what initially feels like such a liberatory coalition move is sharpened by the signs in the front row held by a series of Latina girls reading, "My generation is next, don't shoot." The performance of racial analogy is both cathartic and politically strategic. A young Latino man, Alex Nieto, died in the street after he was gunned down by the San Francisco Police Department, SFPD, just weeks before this picture was taken. In part, the young women's plea represents the blackening of Polynesian and Latinx bodies in a white and Chinese city, and the brutality of dispossession as distributed across inherited axes of racialization. This mode of racial solidarity cannibalizes Black suffering. In order to state that their generation is next, non-Black people of color have to set Black death in stasis, already a fact, a cautionary tale that might ward off state execution. Progressive dystopia attends to the tensions between coalition, anti-Blackness, and the state by documenting the afterlives of slavery as lived in one corner of San Francisco. The argument of this book turns on the generative antagonism between our and Black in the mattering of lives. By examining a series of successful progressive reforms and what they cost Black communities, I critique winning as the dominant logic of social justice work. I ask, who loses when we win? Not so much to expand the we of winning to an ever more inclusive list of deserving subjects, but to ask what becomes impossible when we engage in contest as the primary mode of Black politics. This is the differential between revolution and abolition. The photo's presence as the outsize header on the Robeson website, overlaid with the caption #OurLivesMatter, indexes a critical, even combative relationship between the institution and the carceral state that killed Mike Brown. In his treatise on the aims and methods of Black studies, Fred Moten argues for the conceptualization of abolition and reconstruction as ongoing projects animating the study of comparative racialization as well as Black studies. Two fields that will be seen as each other's innermost ends, two fields that will be understood through the claim they make on their thinking of and in Blackness. Reconstruction here invokes both the postbellum experiment with democracy that was precipitously crushed by the de jure racism, and the leftist recuperation of the state that animates the political imaginary of mainstream ethnic studies and its political corollaries in the movements for immigrant, racial, and economic justice. Reconstruction is a hue of revolution. It assumes the state is both inevitable and recuperable, and that we must ensure that the lofty rhetoric of citizenship is equitably applied across lines of racial and ethnic difference. From the perspective of abolition, the universalizing rhetoric of the liberal state is itself the problem. Moten positions Blackness as the articulable joint between ethnic studies and Black studies, whereby the degree to which either project reaches toward an abolitionist horizon is dependent on its conceptual and material relation to Blackness. By splashing the #OurLivesMatter photo on its website, Robeson makes what Moten calls a claim on Blackness, as does the broader multiracial progressive movement that enlists Blackness as a central conceit of people of color politics. But when #OurLivesMatter, it is only in their ourness that Black folks' lives matter, because we, are one of us. And yet, as progressive dystopia demonstrates,